Hello, my name is Jeffrey.
I'm Mitchell.
I'm Evan.
Is Tyler here?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, and Tyler's here as well. And then today we're group 58 and we're doing lab O2 discussion. Mitchell, you guys share your screen? Yeah.
Yeah, can you enable the screen
Oh
share?
yeah, my bad.
I don't know what's wrong with my.
Should be good now.
All right, I'll just go to the first discussion question, which is right here. So discuss with your team which must be the characteristics or criteria for a segment of the velocity graph that can be considered constant velocity. So it just has to be like a line with no slope,
Yeah.
right?
This
Because doesn't that just
yeah.
show constant velocity?
Yeah.
it's
Or
just
like it just has to be as a
accelerating in either
constant
direction.
slope. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that one was easy. Next question. So this is about like the coding with the loop lines. It says identify at least one thing in the while loop that you could change to make the loop run fewer times. Discuss with your team the different responses they had to this question. So I think I said for this one, because it was like where if x minus y is less than x divided by 2, then it like continues to loop. So you could just make y like smaller. So that way it would loop fewer times before it like ended the cycle.
You don't have to do
That was
divide by
my
2.
solution.
Or you could divide by
Yeah,
like a bigger
why
number.
not?
Like once you divide by a bigger
Right.
number, it's the loops is way less.
Right, that makes sense too.
What else can we change about it? I feel like that's the only two things.
I guess you could like flip the numbers. Because wasn't x like, what was x in the, was it 50? Was x 50 and y was 10 or something?
Wait.
You pull up the script.
It's supposed to lab O2. It's the loops one, right?
Yeah.
We made
Yeah.
3 for this one, right?
Yeah, it's part
Yeah.
2. So x is 50, y is 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you can just change the smaller numbers. Or like,
Yeah,
or
so
like
you just make
or-
y smaller.
Oh no, just change the difference between x and y to be a smaller number. Like you just scale it down.
Oh yeah,
Or
that's
not scale
true.
it down. Like
Right.
you can say x equals 55 and y equals 60, so it's difference of 5 instead of difference of 10.
Right.
So there's like 3 different things you could have done to just lower the
Yeah.
simulation.
Well, that
so
one
we
works.
had difference in numbers needs to be smaller, and we said we could change it from dividing by 2 to dividing by a bigger number, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what I had.
Okay.
And then
The next
Nice.
discussion question says, at what time after starting the simulation does the pushcart pass the 0.5 meters mark? Explain why. So I have 1.65 seconds. That's just because I played it and then I looked at the graph of position versus time. And so when I was
Yeah.
at 0.5 meters, I just looked at the time on the x-axis and it was 1.65 seconds after the start.
Yeah, I mean, everyone should have different numbers because like not everyone pushed the cart in the same amount of force, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, did everybody just use the graph? I'm sure
Yeah.
that it does.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then the next question. So describe what changes you made to the code and explain the reasons you made those changes to the other members of your team. So this was to make it like modify it so that it provides a more accurate estimate. And so one thing I did is I made the delta t smaller so that it took more measurements like per second basically, so that you get like a more accurate like number of recorded measurements, kind of like yesterday when we talked about like the hertz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
ILU lab.
exactly. Yeah,
It was like exactly like that.
sounds about right. Yeah, yeah, I do agree
Yeah.
with that.
Next one.
Graphs. So what assumptions about the CART system does the computational model make? Are they valid assumptions? I think one assumption it makes is that it's just like frictionless,
Yeah.
because it doesn't
Yeah.
really account for any net force other than the push.
Because like for ours,
Yeah,
ours eventually just slows down but theirs is just like whenever time is declared as the end, like delta t, or not delta t. Yeah,
Right.
like the time that's when it stops. But ours will technically keep on going until it like really stops due to force of
Yeah, that
friction.
is true.
Yeah, and, it
And I
assumes,
think,
like,
go ahead,
sorry.
Jonathan.
You can.
Yeah. So the. Huh?
I think Mitchell was saying something, and I kind of cut him off.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just gonna say that, like, with the validity of the assumptions, like, since we're dealing with such small time intervals, like, it's not gonna make that big of a difference either way. So I think
Yeah.
it's like okay to assume that it's frictionless.
Yeah. If we were dealing with more than 3.5 seconds in the simulation, it would definitely change stuff up. But the fact that we're not dealing with more than that, it doesn't really matter. It
Right,
should
at
be
the
very
constant
similar.
velocity.
The friction on the lab kit wheels is pretty low to the point where it wouldn't make a difference that
It
quickly.
also depends
Right.
like the surface of the table or
Yeah,
whatever
true.
you just slide
Yeah.
it on.
Tyler,
Yeah,
did
it
you have
also
something to
assumes
say?
that there's no slipping too, which
Mhm.
probably
Yeah, yeah,
valid,
yeah.
but
There's also like air resistance and stuff like that when it's moving across, but that could be it's like pretty small.
Yeah.
But it also affects it for
Right.
sure.
so
Yeah.
like if you hit like a bump in the table or whatever, that would change stuff. But
We're assuming a perfect conditions for everything, right?
Yeah,
correct.
just like
No
only one
wind,
net
no
force, only one
drag.
force, and it's only in one
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah. Should I do 18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do these assumptions affect the accuracy of our results for the pushcart simulation? Are the errors in the results due to these assumptions negligible? Why or why not?
It kind of just lowers the accuracy. But like since the time that we measure it is so small, like it's such a small increment, I feel like it does lower the accuracy, but it's not it just doesn't like the values are still kind of similar or like probably really similar.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
doesn't
to like the
Yeah.
decimal point where it's gonna be different.
it doesn't throw it off greatly, but it does throw it off a little bit, pretty much is what we're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I think also since it like wants us to only do it with a constant velocity, like because you know that for a fact that it's moving with a constant velocity, that kind of means that there's no drag force like fighting it and slowing it down. So it can make
Yeah.
those assumptions and it is negligible.
Yeah, but it also kind of depends if we used it on different surfaces. Because if we used it on like a super like friction surface, then it
Yeah, like if we rolled it on 2 pieces of tape or something
yeah.
like that,
Or on
yeah,
like a
definitely.
carpet.
And
Yeah,
also
or
like the car,
carpet or
this car
something.
itself could have some issues that we all don't know. So we could never really,
Yeah.
never really tell. Like the wheel,
I mean,
like the shaft of the wheel could just be like completely like screwed. For all you can tell.
right. Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah, like my cart wheels have different friction levels on them, like between the different wheels.
I think all these kits are used and then like they just like,
Yeah.
give it back to you.
Yeah, I know.
Rent it out for 50 bucks. For,
Mine's
like,
got a
60
big
bucks.
dent in it.
Oh
That's
really?
actually. Mine
Yeah.
had dead batteries when I got it, so that's dope.
Oh boy.
Right, and then afterwards,
Yeah.
like I post the video and then we all have to like say something at the end there or some stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna end the recording. Well, but I feel like everything has been touched upon.
Yeah.
But because how many discussion
Um,
questions were there in total?
So what do we have to, you said we have to say something after you post the video. What do we have to?
Like it's on Brightspace. Like, give me a sec.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like, don't you have to like Oh, wait, give me a sec. Lab O2 discussion.
Yeah, I think you guys just have to put like, my name is
yeah,
blah, 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 and I participated in this discussion.
Yeah, I'll just put in the
That's
chat.
it.
You just copy and paste it over later. Or once I post the link, then I'll just take this.
I
Yeah.
yeah,
Alright, I'm gonna
I
stop recording.
think